We invite you to look at the most beautiful abandoned places in the world. Ta Prohm, Cambodia. This is a temple in Angkor, dedicated and erected in honor of the mother of King Ajahvamvari VII. In 1186, it reached its peak. By the 13th century, more than 12,000 people lived here. Well, like the entire city of Angkor in the middle of the 15th century, it was destroyed by Siamese troops and abandoned. The clearing of the complex was begun in the 20s of the 19th century. However, the specialists who carried out the restoration work decided not to radically change the appearance of the temple and its surroundings. Therefore today it is the only temple of the wall and towers absorbed by the jungle whose roots of trees have been entangled, and this was done deliberately, from which it is considered to be the most popular destination for pilgrims visiting Angkor. Spinalonga, Greece is a Greek island located opposite the villages of Plako and Alunda in eastern Crete. In the 16th century, the Venetians turned the island into an impregnable fortress that controlled the entrance to the Gulf of Alunda, and the island was not always such, according to the Venetian cartographer Vincenzo Coronelli. In 1526 the Venetians decided to separate part of the Spinalonga Peninsula and create an island to strengthen the protection of the port of Alunda from constant pirate raids. And in 1903 the island was turned into a leper colony. There was no cure for this disease at that time, so everyone who caught this infection was considered incurable. Spinalonga, on the other hand, was an ideal solution for isolating the sick and for the peace of the rest of the population of Crete. Floating Forest, Australia. The decommissioned ship S. Searfield, moored at the mouth of the Parramatta River in the northwest of Sydney, is shrouded in dense mangroves several meters high. The length of the ship, similar to a floating forest, is 80 m. Parts of the hull resemble the landscapes of a lost island lost in the middle of the urban jungle. The massive ship was launched on water in 1911. Great Britain a year later, registered in Sydney as a ship for the transport of military supplies. The ship was decommissioned in 1972, and has since adorned the mouth of the Parramatta River. Nara Dreamland, Japan. This is an abandoned amusement park. It was built in 1961, the design and layout of the park very reminiscent of California Disneyland. It also has its own wagon depot, the Sleeping Beauty Castle, steep turns in the city and a monorail. It was closed in 2006, because to contain someone it was completely unprofitable. All the employees and guests simply left this wonderful place, and did not return here anymore. Currently Dreamland is guarded by the police. Goji Island, China. There is a small island off the east coast of China, which is part of a group of about 400 Shinchi Islands. The island has preserved some of the most beautiful abandoned settlements in the entire archipelago, which are visited by the curious. The inhabitants of the island left it in the 90s after the economic upheaval that occurred in China, as a result of which fishing by hand became an unprofitable occupation. Gradually, creeping plants such as ivy covered the walls of houses. Nature has reclaimed its territory and turned the villages into a fairy tale land. By the way, the fishermen who left for the Shamsi Islands visit regularly, as there are a lot of fish here. Hotel del Salto, Colombia. In 1923, 30 kilometers southwest of Bogota, near the picturesque Tequendama waterfall, the hotel flourished in the middle of the last century. Then in Del Salto, there were 18 apartments with bathrooms, fireplaces, a restaurant with a terrace and also numerous cellars. The symbiosis of the beauty of nature, the power of the waterfall and modern hotel comfort attracted travelers from all over the world. This continued until mysterious deaths began to occur in the hotel. Historians do not believe in legends and attribute the decline in the popularity of the hotel to the pollution of the mouth of the river by sewage. Because of this, a fetid smell appeared around the hotel, but this did not make the place less beautiful. Is now doing a great job of cleaning Bogota and its tributaries. The authorities hope that the hotel will again attract tourists and find a second life. Kalimantan Durg. India. This is one of the Panhalgada forts in the city of Kolhapur, near Mumbai. The port is located on the top of a high hill and is a unique monument of architecture. Every year it attracts great interest from many lovers of difficult hikes. To overcome the 3-hour climb to the top, you need a lot of endurance and physical fitness, because travelers have to climb the stairs carved into a steep slope that were built by the Shinohara dynasty. Strategic point of view of the site. Portugal Dedication Well is located on the territory of Quinta Palace in the town of Sintra. This architectural object got its name due to the assumptions that mysterious rites of initiation to the Masonic Lodge were held in it. A well carved into the rock looks like an inverted tower and has a depth of about 30 centimeters. It consists of a spiral staircase with carved columns. The design of the gallery descending down has 9 flights of 15 steps each. Approaching the bottom of the well, the lighting begins to fade. Krakow, Italy. The city is built on the edge of a cliff in the Basilicata region. Since its foundation in the 8th century, suffered from invaders and earthquakes. The first mention of it dates back to 1060, when the archbishop christened the area Gracalou, a plowed field. At the end of the last century, after another natural disaster, it turned out that the rocks under the city were being destroyed and therefore the inhabitants were forced to leave it. There are no official excursions to Krakow. Daredevils go there at their own peril and risk. For adventure seekers and photographers, hundreds of houses covered in mystery, but be careful, there are no collapses here. Rarity. That's all, friends.